Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please, for a few minutes? We would like to organize for our luncheon here this evening. We need the following persons. If you're present, we need you to come here to the guest table here on the stage here. Rudolph Maxwell, well, he's back there. Reverend Vincent Mitchell and Mrs. Mitchell, will you please come to the platform here? We have Mrs. Mabel Butler and Commissioner Butler is here, and Representative Alzo Reddick. Ms. Karen Butler, are you present now? Oh yeah, there you are. You can eventually have a table here, seat up here. Principal William James, Mr. James, we need you up here. Mrs. Ernestine Embers, we got you. Okay, thank you very much. And I believe that's it right now. So in about 1 minute, we will start our program here.
From beginning to end, 365 days of the year, the same old love. And all I want to do is spend my life with you, in the same old love. From beginning to end, 365 days of the year, in the same old love. And all I want to do is keep on loving you with the same old love. From beginning to 365 days of the year, in the same old love. And all I want to do is spend my life with you, in the same old love. From beginning to 365 days of the year, in the same old love. All I want to do is spend my life with you, the same old love.
and gentlemen, well, I guess you see everybody is here but the honoree, right? And as usual, she's always complaining about me being late, right? And look at here. But I would suggest to you at this minute that you just continue to exchange pleasantries with the people that are near you. And we will be listening to some beautiful music like we've already been doing by Carlos Roberts and company, right? Let's give them a big hand. Let's sort of like thank them a little bit now. So we're going to ask Carlos Roberts and and company there. They will just play and sing a little bit until our honoree come in, and then we'll say hello to you and let you eat a little bit.
Charge it up immediately after.
Yeah.
How long do you need?
Overnight.
They better charge up either. I just put that one on when I got it. It was ready. And, when I got ready to go.
Charge up.
Whatever you charge.
Come with the charge. The biggest van. There's a plug and play.
No, that's Johnson.
Johnson. Ours is exactly the same. This part here. This is a 25 line, 60 line. It's like rated. Something wrong.
I like this one.
Oh, all the love you. I wanna begin all the love you. Each and every day, I'm living for the love of you. I wanna begin all the love you.
Well, friends, here she is. Come on in, Alice Gwendolyn Hawkins. Give her a big hand. Our honoree and family right now. Give us another big hand. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a fun evening now. Because we're going to have some roasting. We're going to have some kind expressions. Then we're going to make fun with it. And I told the first person I really want to do when it comes to that roasting is me, to do it for, right? I'm going to roast a little bit here tonight. But we would like to say all of the many friends who are here, we would like to say hello to you and say glad you are here and thank you for coming. So we're going to ask one of our chairpersons of the program, this is Mr. Rudolph Maxwell. He's going to greet us at this time. Mr. Maxwell.
Thank you. We're the Maxwells, and we really would like to welcome you to Miss A. Gwen Hawkins' retirement banquet and roast. I'm going to find out tonight what that A is for. I thought it was Aretha, R.E., but tonight we'll find out exactly what that A is for. Mrs. Hawkins has been in the school system and teaching our youth in the community for some 30-plus years in the Orlando area. I can recall many times in the last 4 or 5 years while Gwen has been somewhat ill, and we tried to encourage her to take it easy, but she would always say that she feel like keeping on, because if she keep keeping on, she'll have a part in the education of the kids in our community, and she knows that we'll have a better world. So that's why we decided to host this retirement banquet and roast for Mrs. Hawkins. She's been like a mother to both of us, inspiration, and we love her dearly. So we're here tonight to celebrate and honor Mrs. A. Gwen Hawkins. And thank you very much for coming.
If you would bow your heads at this moment, we will be thankful in another way. We're going to ask our pastor and Sister Hawkins' pastor, the Reverend Mitchell, if he would come and do the invocation for us at this time. Reverend Mitchell.
For a splendid occasion and purpose which we have assembled, a good note to begin is by giving reverence unto Almighty God. Let us share in invocation and grace as we give thanks. Gracious God, our Father, we want to thank you for this assembly. I want to thank you for the kindness of hearts that gather in this room, for the way our lives have been touched by the honoree. I want to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to mingle and to share. We appreciate your many blessings. Now as we come for this August occasion, we want to thank you, Lord, for the many services that have been rendered, for the time that have been given, for the dedication of heart and the willingness of mind that has been shared by the honoree. I want to thank you for her life within her community, for her love and joy within her church, and for her service to humanity. Now as we come, look graciously upon us, for this is the day in which the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you, dear Father, for this meal that has been prepared for the nourishment and strength of our bodies. We want to thank you for that which we have already consumed. We want to thank you, Lord, for your goodness. And let us ever be mindful from whom all blessings flow. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Well, I was out in the corridors there waiting for Sister Hawkins to arrive. One of the young ladies remarked when she saw me, she said, I knew that you would be here. And I laughed because I said, well, you know something? I was thinking the same thing when I was coming in here. I said, now there are certain ones that I expect to be here. And that's because every time Sister Hawkins or Gwen, we're going to say Gwen today, have anything to do, she always get these same people. They're always there. You can say, well, Gwen can get them. Tell Gwen, I bet she can get those persons. So seated here and up here on the stage and looking at all the faces that I see now came in mind a little earlier, saying, now, I think I'm going to see this person, this one, and this one. But we are all here to share, as I said, a glorious moment for a friend. And then the young lady say, well, see now, that's your sister. And I said, well, that's right, because a lot of them, I have a lot of sisters here, I have a lot of brothers here, and I got a lot of brothers here too. That's right. That has been very supportive. And Gwen is one of them. This is my good friend. So what we're doing now, we're going to ask the caterers that they will come in and bring our dinner to us. And we want you to eat a few minutes, and then we're going to show you something else that's going to be really good for the eye. So we want you can serve it to us now.
Never make that
Now that she reached retirement.
All right.
To pretend that you spend an evening in an Egyptian tea room. And I want you to cast your eyes among, just say during the center aisles and the back, all around. And you're going to see some of Orlando's loveliest models, showing you some of the latest in fashion wear at this time while you are eating your dinner here. Everything is real beautiful. When you see a young lady parades around the dinner table with the black, white checks and that. And you always say that a lady is not fully dressed unless she has the right lid on that head. So take a look at that beautiful hat as this model parades around here with the balloon bottom skirt comes up just above the knee, just to reveal the outfit of guys who might be looking. Isn't it pretty? You can be appreciated by giving a big hand clap. And see, black and white. You know, white never reveals the thing makes it look white. And coming out and watch the hats now. The black hats, the white trim in there. If you look at the details of the skirt, what you're seeing now, watch now, they're all a certain neck, just above the knee. And you know this, they thin and maybe in there, but today we're going to show you that black is where it's at. As it comes down, she is wearing this sort of stuff to herself. Black and white. Already coming down, you say we're going out to this evening here. This is, I would say, a fair where we are here today. Just a lunch. Why not stroll in what we call this black beautiful dress here? With the leaf looking designs all over this white, remember? And watching the rhinestones accentuate the neckline there, right above the, I would say, the shoulder there. They got these deep heights. Now watch now, the hair is always something that, now we can talk about the hair because we're in it. These are styles by Freddie and people there. Now watch as she goes in where the deep looks just there. There's the black skirt. Watch the details at the bottom there. As she curls around, don't watch out, gentlemen. She's not going to use it there. Look at the belt there at the front there. Always look at this, what I call the man's type shirt there. And also, if you watch now, the collar, belt, also at the waist, accentuate the same identical detail there. And watch the earrings, so we go in there. Watch the hairstyle. This is it. Always shaking that. That's letting them know that history is over. All right, beautiful. Give her a big hand as she comes in. Just a little bit longer. We'll show you the long of it, the short of it, and also that. Watch the color. Watch our taste. Watch. Big giant color. Blue like red. Basic color. And there, that's from Patrick Kelly of Paris. Watch the buttons now. The big green, the white. We can play a little game of tic-tac-toe there. Now, what if you got the X or the O? So therefore, there it is. Watch the details in the back there. And it fits right at the right spot, gentlemen. Listen. All right. Pink cat. All right. And Glenn just told me that her son bought those buttons all the way from Paris, France. All right. Give her a big hand now. There she is. Beautiful. And if you look now, watch now. I would say a compliment to the ladies that are seated here on the evening out on the town. Tracy looks like the she puts like Brittany Houston there. And she comes down with a black. And what the hell is the detailing of the hymns there? Also like going back to the balloon type, you know, the bottom. And watch the neckline, the back. The cuffs and all that accentuate a beautiful young lady. Just tracing the hairstyle, moving gracefully with the boy in the back. And if you know that, it's not only for the step girl now. If you know, we can show you where all the and the aqua. Well, look at the back there, and she comes out. Watch. That's right, you go there right there. But we say the granny question, right? But as we come down, look at the hair. That brings out the color with it. A two-tone, maybe an aqua type, maybe an aqua type of blue, the hat and the dress. And also, by her being the lady that she is, watch the gloves now. And the shoes, and the handbag. Everything so perfect for this mom here. So give her a big hand. There she goes. Now I would say like, here where we're here today, like that one, she could go because of the other one. But look at here, look at the beautiful outfit here. Come on down, sister. With the, watch the arm, she's spreading her wings to show the I would say like a Roman type sleeve there. Also, look at the two pieces. Look like one, but watch how she moves there with the little strip that comes right down the front and the side and the back, the double breast, what we call in the back. Usually it's always in the front, but we're going to put it in the back right now. To let you see that things can be done. Put the little tight collar and open back. Just enough to reveal how beautiful she is, that young lady there. Give her a big hand. Are you enjoying this? Yeah, all right. Here she comes again. This is Tori. It's already for that evening, I would say how shopping and also people have been born. And they go walking out for a drive, and her, I would say, her Lamborghini sports car. Come down and all this, and watch it, she come down, watch the sandals. They're so beautiful, struck to the, almost, I would say, very round. It's not exactly, almost like some type of a bracelet, like, you know, on the leg there, in white. Look at the collar, and the earrings, and all that matches. Bring out the beautiful color of the white, beautiful color there. All right, Tori. This is what she used to do. All right, Tori, that's beautiful. And watch the sandals now. If you notice, they are not exactly stamped together. If you can see that, they are almost round like the jewel wristband that some of you ladies wear. But we got like a snake right down there at the foot. So there she is, beautiful. Watch the two pieces, all the way from the drawing room to the dinner table. Take this outfit here. Make it look more like the John Wayne by giving a cowboy effect by having the streamers hanging down in white. If you know fitting, right at the, and there she is, and all is hanging down. Boy, this is nice. Go ahead. Already. The button all the way up to the very top. If you're out, probably ask them to start unbuttoning a little bit, but I think you said that. This is what, all right, here we come now. A nice little cocktail dress for an evening at the theater, or coming to a luncheon, or just being a favorite friend and just ready to go. Favorite restaurant. Choose this beautiful one-piece dress that looks like a two-piece with the side always sliding all the way over to the side there. She moves through the crowd what we'll call a punchy type green. Watch that. The dinner type where it can be warm. All that. Beautiful. Cowboy girl. All right, we heard the John Lorraine. And there she is, the beautiful young lady. Give her a big hand. There she goes. The back tells us something. As you take a strap, put it close to the back, close it, draw straight across there. Then it come all the way down about to the waist to the beautiful back there. Comes down the front just a little bit longer, but as she turns around, the effect is really in the back. There she is, the back out, come down and split so far up there, just enough to leave the one from imagination. It's not good. This young lady can beat. All right, this is nice. neck line, the hem line. He's a red. So she has six made by using the gold.
She jumping now.
Come on, baby. Just like a little burger, and look as pretty and attractive as Victoria. And the name of the group is so magical. Look at the buttons down. From all the way down. Look at these buttons on it. And then she has a beautiful smile and pure. That's the buttons. That is really sharp. I think that is very good. All right, now let's go up. Go up again. All these men been sitting there watching these pretty girls, right? So come on, women, y'all can take a look at this young man.
If we can get the models to all stop in the back, to the exclusive of grandma there, and I can say that honestly because she is my grandma. Models, okay, you know that pretty, okay, get the better than models, we want you to hit. Starting with you, Tyra. Ready? On 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit it, 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 get it. Every fashion show you go to. All right, darling. Come on ahead. Show them what Diana and you paid to do. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit it, 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 hit it. That's right, you can hit it. Go ahead. Yeah. Sheila. All I have to say about this lady is just anything she wants, God knows she is going to get it. And then she gave us her best shot. 5, 6, 7, 8, go for it. Hit it, 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 hit it. Oh, yeah, you can try it. Come on, Marcia. You can put that light on her right off and see this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit it, 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 hit it. The daytime show going to get it. Go ahead, Tracy. Get it, 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 get it.
7, 8. Get it, girl. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Hold it, get it again. Get it, get it. She got it. All right. Come on out, folks. The fashion show and stuff. It's great in here. And we're going to start with the state of Florida. And we're going to ask if Representative Alzo Reddy, if he will come down and just say something to us.
Sad occasion in so many respects. I feel especially remiss in that I must be the one to bring this sad tidings after all of the frivolity, laughter, and the beautiful occasion that we've had until this moment. It was my great honor and privilege to request from the Speaker of the House and the other 120 representatives a state proclamation to Miss Gwendolyn Hawkins. And we initiated our procedure, and we found that at the moment that we were about to go to press, that there was some difficulty. And the difficulty resulted from Gwen not wanting to tell her age. What happened? We had a little difficulty attempting to get the amount of service in and the age. And they had the FBI, the CIA, OPD, and the Metropolitan Bureau of Investigation in, but we had a little difficulty getting the age together. But on a more serious note, I'd like to just share with you from my perspective how much our honoree means to me. In a more recent election campaign in 1982, when the candidates were many and supporters were few, Miss Gwendolyn Hawkins was one of those persons in our kitchen every day, peeling potatoes, selling dinners, raising the proper amount of indignity at Mount Olive if I was not being treated right there. And so much of what happened since '82 is due in large measure to this lady's hard work and everything that needed to be done, whether it was standing on the corners, asking for a little more support from the ministers, or selling the dinners and everything else. Gwen was there. And so for me, I feel especially privileged to be here with Gwen tonight as we honor her. As we honor her not only for what she's done more recently, but for her contributions over the years to this community. And I think on a happier note, when all is said and done, all that we have in this lifetime that we can really enjoy for a long time is the memories. Everything else moves away. And so with that, I would say salute and many more happy birthdays for our friend, our community's friend, Ms. Gwendolyn Hawkins. Thank you very much.
Going to retire from the school system, not anything else. I decided that who better would it fit to honor with the proclamation. So today I present to you, Mrs. Hawkins, a proclamation from the city of Orlando, and it reads, whereas A. Gwendolyn Hawkins has unselfishly given of herself to the education, social, and culture development of Orlando, and whereas she has devoted numbers of volunteer hours in service in Christian education, and whereas she continued to provide leadership and inspiration to the people of our community, and whereas she loved her God, concern and devotion for others, and amplified faith, hope, and charity. Therefore, I, Mabel Butler, Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioner of District 6 of the City of Orlando, here present this proclamation to Gwendolyn A. Hawkins in celebration of retirement with sincere affection and appreciation for her continued contribution to the quality of life offered by the City of Orlando.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of these things, all of his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added. That's right. You can say, talk like say, that's right. And at this time, Gwen has been so instrumental in all of our churches. So speaking for the Mount Olive AME Church is one of her great friends, Karen Butler. Ms. Butler, give her a big hand.
Good evening. Let me just say that I consider this an honor and a pleasure to pay tribute to my oldest sister. I call her that jokingly because even though my father is her junior, she calls him daddy. So therefore, that makes her my oldest sister. It's Sunday morning and it's 11 o'clock a.m. The organist has struck a chord for the choir to prepare for the morning processional. The officers are in line as they too will proceed down the aisle. Pastor Mitchell is robed and has signaled for the processional to begin. The song is, God is already here. The voices are harmonizing as we slide and step down the center aisle of our church. In just a few moments, you will hear a familiar voice with a familiar phrase, one of many. Fix it up, fix it up. Or you might hear, ooh, I'm not what I ought to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be. Or the phrase that is most popular, I thank you for the good and I thank you for the bad. Well, Mrs. Hawkins, tonight the members of Mount Olive AME Church say thank you to you. We thank you for making us a part of your life. We thank you for the numerous times that you have served as chairman of Women's Day. We thank you for your directorship of a 35-member youth choir. We thank you for your teaching of Sunday school, for your service as a missionary member as well as president, for you being the first chairman to raise $15,000 for Women's Day, for your service as a stewardess as well as a trustee, and for your coordination of our calendar club. Mrs. Hawkins, we thank you, and we thank you for the good that you have given us by sharing your time and your talent. Tonight, we applaud your success, we applaud your retirement, and we want you to remember God is not through with you yet. We praise you for your goodness and your sincerity. And we at Mount Olive, on behalf of Reverend and Mrs. Mitchell and the Mount Olive family, will remember you as the teachers who went beyond the classroom.
There is a familiar saying, and you all know it. We just say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. The Durance Elementary principal, William James. Give him a big hand.
Good evening, everyone. It's not very often I have the opportunity to stand before you all, and it's not very often that we have such a prized lady to retire from the school system. And it's very significant to know that times do change. You know, I was that little fella in Bible school, running around, out of place, Hawkins yelling at me. Times do change, now I'm a boss. So now I get a chance to run around behind her, you know. There'll be many others coming before you all to talk about the many things that Ms. Hawkins has done with you all, to you all, or on behalf of you all. But I'd like to say, just in the year that I've been working with Mrs. Hawkins, we've had many golden opportunity to talk about some very interesting things, such as her driving. I don't think there's anyone left on Orange Avenue that's not been hit by Mrs. Hawkins. That was quite well. I'm glad that But Tom Mitchell saw fit to get her a big Ford so that she could make it from one spot to the other. We could also talk about her hats, her dresses. Karen Butler so beautifully spoke about her voice that echoes throughout the church. Her voice echoes throughout the hallways and the classrooms, and I think in the years that will pass after she retires, I think her voice will still be echoing somewhere in the building at Durance Elementary. You know, those are the beautiful things that add to a school, because schools are made up of people. And teachers are made up of personalities, and Ms. Hawkins has a very, very pleasing personality. And her personality is made up of some unteachable items. And these unteachable items are items called honesty, warmth, kindness, concern, commitment, and fairness. And those are the things that she's passed on to the students that she's worked with over the year that I've been with her. And from what her reputation says, she's shared those things with the students that she's worked with prior to my coming. I'm here to say that she has mastered those skills, and that's very important. The state of Florida, and Mr. Reddick will clearly state this, that the teacher education program has stipulated that there be some competencies that all teachers should master. But Mrs. Hawkins has gone beyond those competencies. She's mastered the 6 competencies that I mentioned before quite well, and that's beautiful because I've seen children come from her room with a good education, with the sense of fairness, knowing what honesty is all about, knowing what concern is all about. And she's also shared with those parents, and we know we're in changing times, our parents are a little bit different than when I came along. She shared with those people commitment, knowing what your child is all about and doing what you can for your child while you have your child. And that's very important. And I'm just here to say and be thankful to stand before you all to say that you all should be very proud of Ms. A. Alice Gwen Hawkins as your representative, retiring representative from the public school system. So again, thank you all, Ms. Hawkins. Congratulations. Now you're an official senior citizen.
And that we are very proud of. There's a saying that said, let me live in the house by the side of the road and I'll be a friend to man. In order to gain friends, one must first show himself friendly first. And these friendships should be a lasting one. The class of 1938, Jones High School, Ernestine Emery, give her a big hand. 38. Wait now, from 38 now, you can almost tell the age now, right? You almost got that.
Thank you. As I listened, each of the people who went before me stole a bit of the thunder that I had brought along. Someone said, well, what is the A for? And Clara and I know that the A is for Alice, and we know who Alice was. And Gwen may never say, but we do know. We are members of the family. It's easy for those of you who are not blood to know A. Gwendolyn, Edith, Strong. All the others. That's right, Rudy is here, talented. Sims. Above and beyond all of this, this is my relative. And when I stand here and say to you that I am proud of the fact that Gwen has done all of the things that she has done, and she has done them so very well. Gwen's teaching experience, number one, is 16 years in the Orange County, for the Orange County School Board. Correction, Brother Bowie. Someone said she's been here 30 years. She hasn't been back home in 30 years. But just to show you the kind of person that she is, if she wanted to do something, Clara and I went to school, came back, got a job. Clara worked 35, retired. I am still working. I go to work tomorrow morning. I need to get away from here and get some rest so I'll be able to go to work. You've now found out that we are almost 7-0. But isn't it wonderful to look out at some of the people that I've taught, and I won't call your names, but you're here. To look out and see the people that I've been a member of a club with you for more than 38 years. To see other people who have grandchildren, and I've taught you and your grandchildren. To say to you that this comes sincerely, and certainly it is sincere. Gwen has done a whole lot of things for a whole lot of people. And it would be wrong to stand here and not say that we love you, Gwen, we appreciate you, and we are happy that we are relatives with you. Because when everything else goes down, we have to stick together. You know, nothing's thicker than blood. Blood is thicker than anything. The good times, the bad times, and all the in-between times. I brought along a little poem to leave with Gwen tonight. Someone said, well, she's retiring, and Mabel said she's retiring from the school board. Very well said. I see some medical people here who say she should have retired 10 years ago. Well said. When they didn't get her here on time, my heart and Gert's heart, we should have gone by there. Why didn't we go get her? But she made it. You know, she's surprising. She's dedicated. She's, what is it, hard clothed, the hard skinned. Here you bring greetings from the what is it, Alto? The Senate, the representative of the state of Florida. This year I had the pleasure of going with the Jones High School choir. I had to get in this little bitty. That choir sang at the legislature in Oklahoma. And that was the most thrilling thing for me to think that a little old high school in Orlando traveled all the way to Oklahoma City, and there those 80 children sang. And these are the kinds of things that Orlando is all about, and that's why Gwen came home from wherever she was. She did well. She did well, but you know, home is always home. Ernestine won there, Clara won there, Gert, all those people. She had some friends up there too. But home is home. And certainly we are grateful to have her here. And we're certainly saluting the fact that she is leaving the school board. But I know Verna has her job ready for her. Down at Mount Olive already, there are things that she must do. So Gwen, take this little poem with you from the Apples of Gold, that rest is not quitting the busy career. Rest is the fitting of self to its sphere. 'Tis loving and serving the highest and best. 'Tis onward, unswerving, and that is true rest. You'll meet her somewhere Monday morning doing something for someone. Thank you.
Before we roast her, we're going to do this right here. We'd like for you to pay attention. Gwen, I want you to listen to something from that. To love someone more dearly every day. To help a wandering child to find his way. To ponder over noble thought and pray, and smile when evening falls, and smile when evening falls. This is my task, to follow truth as blind men long for sight, to do my best from dawn of day till night, than to keep my heart fit for his holy sight, and answer when he calls, and answer when he calls. This is my task, and when my Savior's face I'll see, when this fate has made your task on earth complete, then you lay your homage at your master's feet, within those jasper walls, within those jasper walls. You're leaving the school system now, but this crowns your task. And now we're going to ask that from you. So some of you, we're going to give you a limit now. We want you to sort of like roast a little bit. But you know what? When all the speaking was going on, you know, Gwen always says she's like a cat, you know, with 9 lives. You see her down, somebody tell me, say, come out of the shop and say, you know, Gwen is in the hospital. And I said, what? And the next thing you know, here she walking in my business, telling me something that she want me to do with $1 or some auxiliary. So I say, you know what, not to be, for you to laugh about it, it's just that it's a serious thing to know that how the Lord is really taking care of her. And to see that she's been blessed. And to really recover from such illnesses that she has had. And today to see so many of you here to pay homage to her. So we're going to ask at this time for you to have a little bit of fun with her. And the first one asked her, you say, well, Gwen, Alice Gwen Stroman.
Edith Stroman. Calvin Sims.
Sims. Well, she done told us now. So they said, well, what is your name, Gwen? She said, all of that. This is Gwen's name. So those of you who would like to just say, you know, make her laugh a little bit, you may stand up. You got a little bit. You may do so now. We ask if you can just remain where you are and just stand up.
If I would say a few words about Gwen, I told her I didn't think I should be the one to do it. Because we have been relatives for a long time. I'm afraid that this might end all of that. Because it might be to my advantage. Because while she's running around seeing about all of you, I don't see her. But the minute Doc puts her in the hospital, I get a call. Up until I was about 11 years old, I thought she was my sister because my mother had her before, well, now I can be told, before I was born. She's retiring, I can say this. My mother took her with her on her honeymoon because her dad was trying to steal her. So mother took her with her. So that tells you that she's older than I am. I'm great, but that's all right. I started graying at 12, so it doesn't matter. I thought she was my sister, and I had to do what she said do. She and Ernestine Embry, Gertrude Kimball, and Geneva Ward, who isn't here right now, they always made me do all of the dirty work. Anything that had to be done, I had to do it.
If we went off, my parents said, you go with Gwen and see that all of them come back home. They would leave me on the corner standing, and I couldn't go home until they came back to mine. But one thing happened. The good Lord is always with you if you're right. I was standing on the corner crying because I wanted to go home, and I didn't know where they were. And it just so happened my aunt drove by and saw me on the corner. And when she looked up and saw me, she backed up. She said, what are you doing out here? I said, I'm waiting for Gwen and Ernestine and Jenny and Yurt to come home. She said, get in the car. I got in the car and I went home with her. I said, but they're going to beat me. She said, that's all right. She said, when they hit you, you let me know. And then she put me to bed. And when they showed up, she took each person home that had to go home. And then she came back home. And when she came back home, she put something in me. And Gwen would always holler, take me to the bathroom, don't whip me out. After I had told on all of them, they would congregate round to the house, and when I'd see one coming through the back, I'd run and tell Mother, they're coming, Mother. Don't run. She'd go tell Auntie they're coming. And I'd go tell Auntie they were coming. That was the end of that. Because if they hit me, she was going to get them. But like I said, I wasn't supposed to say this. I told Freddie that I didn't think I should. But if that's going to help and keep me from having to run every time she gets sick, and that's good. Maybe I'll last long. But through the years, we have been very close. Ernestine said, when one hurts, the other one hurts. One calls, the other one goes. That has been true for all of us. Our family isn't very large. Now, we've lost just about all of them, but the few of us who are still here go to see about each other. And I am so glad she's retiring. I honestly am. Maybe now I can stay home and do some of the things I want to do without having to run and do some of the things she has to do for somebody else.
Our little church is a very small church. Mrs. Hawkins had been so used to working a large church until when we asked her about the plane to St. Paul, she had to think about it a while. And in my imagination, the way it was running in her mind, every once in a while she said, "Pray to St. Paul, pray to St. Paul." Finally, one day she made up her mind that she would play for us. And so she came and started playing, and out of 35 years of pastoring, Gwen taught me how long to preach. Chandra said that I would preach 2 Sundays, and I sort of went to watching my wife. Usually she would start to doing this when she thought I had preached enough. But when she gives me to know when I started preaching, when she do this, it's time to sit down. One of the biggest problems that I had with Ms. Hawkins was when she went to the hospital and she was sick. And my associate minister and myself went to see her. And when we got there, we forgot
the name of Miss Hawkins, and we just asked her to win. And so we went to the desk and said, we went and sit down and come and study and trying to think what the other name was William. And finally we went to the desk and we asked the lady, said, would you have a lady here by the name of Miss Gwen? The lady said, Gwen what? We said, we don't know the other name. She's supposed to be here on the 3rd floor, I believe. So she looked over a little file and she says, do you know about how old she is? I said, I know she can't be over 40. So she said, no, we wouldn't holler have. Sit down. I studied trying to think of that other name. And eventually it come to me that I had first 2 or 3 names and thought I hadn't crossed up. And I said, I believe it was Hawkins. And so I went back and she says, who is her doctor? And that time, Dr. Bocart. So after a while, she said, well, we have a lady here, but she don't relish in that age. I said, well, she could be a little younger. And we got in a little bit more trouble. So we kept on until we twisted around and she said, is Bocart a doctor? We said, yes, ma'am. And she said, well, she pointed us to the right place. I've always, when I went to go up to preach, I'll always keep from looking at Sister Hawkins because usually I know she was going to tell me about how long that preach. But she did teach me something. One of those years or months that she played for us. And finally, I went to taking the pattern out for this preaching about 15 minutes. She said, Reverend said, don't preach over 15 minutes. So after I started preaching about 15 minutes, I come in getting calls. Said, Reverend said, you know you sure preached today.
I have 2 things to say. First of all, if everybody was worried about Mom Gwen making here today, you should never worry. Mom Gwen has never missed a show. Thanks. This is a thank you letter. Florida Hospital. Thank you, Orange County, for letting this woman finish up. Every year before the beginning of school term, she's always here, and what a patchwork job we have to do. We are so glad that she is finished. All this age thing is coming as a surprise to me. Since I was the youngest of all my cousins and everyone, I looked up to my Aunt Gwen, and I said, Aunt Gwen, something isn't right. Your mother told me she was born in 19, and then she said, and you were born in 19. But that doesn't make 1958. If you were born in 1958, that makes you younger than me. Everybody's so glad to have you here, and everybody's learned a lot of lessons. But the biggest lesson of all to learn that age is only a state of mind. And she is a person that would never, ever grow old. Everything about going great doesn't matter, because just look at her and she'll make it through.
He is not the youngest. I have been very fortunate. I've had a family full of educators and wonderful people. And I can always rely on my family for just about anything. And the one thing I can always rely on my Aunt Gwen for is when I wanted something flashy, I could try to get her to talk Mother into getting it. on in my little sports car in high school. Aunt Gwen went to bed. We got a duster. When I wanted a Porsche in college, I got Aunt Gwen to go to bed. I got to take the Metro bus. Now that I'm older, I buy my own sports car, but I can always count on Aunt Gwen to be right there to help me when it's time to be flashy. And I got a little bit of my flash from my Aunt Gwen. And I'm very glad to see that she made it. God knows we were worried several times that she was going to make her retirement. And I also thought that she was not going to be here to fix my chitlins, which I come down for religiously. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Good evening. Ms. Hawkins is my mother. And it's probably great for some of you to see that I am an adult. One of the funniest, growing up, some of the funniest times that I think that I can remember, my mother bringing home boyfriends, that she told them that she had a baby, and I was 25. I stopped getting stuffed animals. So when I turned 40, I usually call home, that's usually our little private joke. I would call home and I would tell her how old I am. So I called home and I told my grandfather that I had turned 40, and he said, "Ooh, boy, you better not tell your mama that."
For those of you who don't know, I am boy Freddie. You've probably heard her talk about girl Freddie all the time, but I am she Freddie. So when you hear her talking, say, Freddie did this, Freddie did that, there are two Freddies. And I would like to say to you that I met Gwen such years, such dates, etc. I really don't remember how long it's been, but it's been less than 5 years, but it's been a roller coaster ride ever since. And if you, as they say about driving, if you're in the parking lot with Gwen, forget it. Gwen called me up, she said, honey, I don't know what to do, she said, because this man hit me. And I think she called to me for reassurance. And I tried to listen to her, but she said the man hit her. But what I really couldn't figure out was she got hit. So I've never been able to figure that out. The man hit her, but she got the ticket. So I don't know, but I met Gwen. We were in this business venture together, and she'd call me sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. She said, honey, I don't know who else to call. And I'd be there, but as I said, it's been a roller coaster ride since I've met her, and I love her to death. And it's supposed to be a roast, but I just like for you to know how much I love her. Since I've met her, she's been a friend, a confidant. And at this stage of my life, it's rare to find a woman that you can confide in. I feel that I can go to her and talk about anything, and she's just a beautiful person. And for that, I thank her. Thank you very much.
I'm Eloise. I'm Freddie's sister, and Gwen is Freddie's mother. And Rudolph is, I found out last night that Rudolph is Freddie's brother. And she's also my husband's girlfriend. I just want to tell you about, a little bit about Gwen as a friend. When Gwen is with you, she's with you. I don't know anybody in this town that would sit with me on Thursday nights and make 50 pounds of potato salad. I mean the homemade kind, not the kind that you get out of the store. But now she did that for Alzo. She didn't do that for for me. She did that for Albert. And she would tell me that. But, you know, when you have someone like that that you could depend on, Gwen would be there if I wasn't there. And I've just got to tell you this. The only bad thing that happened is one day I don't know where, I was in school that Thursday. I had Fridays off. And I told Gwen where to find the key. And I think somebody mentioned something about when Gwen got into trouble, she always wanted to go to the bathroom. Well, Gwen went in and we had an alarm system. And I forgot to tell her how to turn the alarm, that we even had one. And she went in, and I think after she got in about 2 minutes or so, the alarm went off. And Gwen did have to go to the bathroom. She just didn't make it. And pretty soon the police came. And Gwen had a hard time explaining what she was doing. But I just want you to know that when Gwen is a friend, she's a friend. Never mind what she's doing it for, who she's doing it for. She's dedicated to it and she'll be there.
Congratulations, buddies. We had a lot of fun together. Although we're right around the corner now, the things will be just like the same as it used to be.
I would like to say something. I remember once when they were having a game at, Jones was having this game and they were going to honor the people that ended in 8. And my sister and Gwen and several others here, I had that class, and so Gwen told us, no, I'm not going to be with y'all, I'm going to be with 8. She was in 40, I'm in 30, I'm going back 10 years. About 3 years ago, I retired from the school system. She told me, I can't be with you no more. You're too old for me. So, I guess I'm older than she is now. But I also remember once when my nephew Michael was playing football for the University of Florida. Gwen was a football fan. She told him, she said, I'm going to start watching the games now tonight. So I'm going back now. I don't know nothing about no game. I want you to tell me something. She said, now, which butt you come out? The first butt or the second butt?
I inherit Mrs. Hawkins by the way of marriage as Mama Gwen. She claims the Green family as her family, and I'm very proud that I inherit her as my mother. She calls my husband Sonny, and between the two of us, we have to play games on to get him to do things sometimes. But I love her dearly, just like a mother and a sister. The only thing about it, when Gwen's doing all the stuff for other people, she's calling me at 12 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock in the morning. Baby, I need you to do so and so and so. I'm just a little fool. I just fall right in time. But I love her dearly. And congratulations.
I was sitting there talking with this for a long time, but I said, since this is Gwen, I have to share three quick accounts. You know, in school, they used to always tell us that one thing you don't do is a cardinal sin. Brother Jackie says, a cardinal sin. Never proclaim you the pastor. But Gwen got so much influence and can make you do some things that you don't want to do. So I tell you when I'm the pastor. influence that Gwen has. I enjoyed one day, it was the best day of my life. Best day of my life. My car was in the shop, and Gwen was in the shop, I mean in the hospital. And I borrowed Gwen's car, and it stayed at my house, you see. And I found out something. Boy, that car did marvelous for me. Nobody called my house. I guess they, man, you know, Gwen ain't gonna never leave the pastor out there. We have a great family relationship. And one day, I called Brother Mobley, Jim. I say, we need to go and see about Gwen, take her to the hospital. So we came over, we rushed on out there, take Gwen to the hospital. Got in there, they went through all the paperwork like they usually do. And this was around 10:15 p.m. It got 11:15. And I look over at Mobley. He cool, calm, and collect. I'm worried, it got 12:15. I'm worried, I look over there at Mobley, he cool, calm, and collect. Then it got 1:15. I said, you think they're gonna keep her? Mobley said, oh, I done been through this already, brother. And last but not least, she's such a good friend to the family. The boys was out with me one day, and Gwen just always said, now, Reverend, you know, I'm going to retire now. And when I retire, you can let me do some more things. And I said, all right, very well. So we were driving down the street one day. I'll show you what the influence that Gwen has, Miss Commissioner. Gwen got more power than the traffic cop. The boys was in the car, and we were right behind Gwen. The light changed to green. Now, green usually you leave, you know, you go. Gwen was still there, and all the traffic behind Gwen. And the boy said, ain't that Gwen? Ain't that Gwen? Ain't that Mr. Hawkins? I said, yes. And then we took the horn. Gwen looked in the rearview mirror and saw the slight view of
I've worked with Mrs. Hawkins for several years now, and I don't know what I'm going to do next year with myself because I'm not going to have anybody to keep me on my toes. My room is just beside hers at school, and I don't have any problem knowing where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there because Gwen's holler, Miss Briante, Miss Briante, or she's out in the hallway saying, come here, Chubby. I just don't know what I'm going to do next year because I'll never be on time without Miss Hawkins. She's been one wonderful friend, and I'm really going to miss her. And I hope we can always keep in touch. I love you very much, friend.
About 2 years ago, Vernon said it's been 2 years, that we were planning our class reunion. You know which one it's going to be? But Gwen was not a member. I think Hazel reminded you that she was going back with my sister Connie and Hazel 10 years back. She was not going to participate with us because she said she was not old. She took one of those trips to the hospital. We carried her some flowers, the class of 38. The next month, she came to the meeting. So if you want to see her participate with us on Saturday, next Saturday, 11th, she will be joining the class reunion of 50 years.
Gwen and I have a long relationship. We're very close. You know, our family is very close. She didn't know I was coming, and yesterday when I walked in, she just hollered, "Ah, I knew you'd be here. I should know you would be here." But she really was surprised. Gwen came home from Trenton. It was Ernest didn't say from wherever. And she's always on time. She came home at a time when we were having a family crisis. My husband was very ill at that time, as most of you know, and Gwen came home. We would have to be in Miami lots of times, and Gwen was always there to babysit the boys. And she was always Aunt Gwen, but by the time I got back from Miami, she had a new name because she was Sarge. She would cook. She loved to cook, but cleaning was not her long suit. She would have the boys. They got really well trained. My sons can do everything for themselves. Because she would have the boys cleaning up, and they called her Sarge. But anyway, Gwen has always been there for me. And when I got ready to marry my present husband, and Gwen discovered that I was going to leave, and when I was leaving, Gwen cried bridal tears because she says, "Oh, Dorothy, I don't know what I'm going to do." Because she could call me 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever, when she got sick and had to go to the hospital, which is her trademark. And she said, "I call you because you just come with a smile and you stay with me." She said, "But Clara, Clara wears me out." She tells me what I should be doing. And she says, "So I just call you." But anyway, I love Gwen dearly, and I would not have missed this for anything in the world. When they called me to say they were having it, my husband says, "Well, honey, I guess you got to get reservations because I know you want to be there." And I'm here. And I love you, Gwen.
I met Mrs. Hawkins, Gwen, I think it was the Monday after I'd met my wife. I met my wife on a Saturday at a Florida A&M Bethune football game. And I guess I impressed her somewhat. She came back, I guess that Sunday, and had a conversation with Gwen. So Gwen, being such a protectorate of Freddie, wanted to know who this guy was. I was living in Lakeland at the time. So that Monday, all type of people were coming around checking me out. And finally, that following Saturday, I came over to Orlando and got a chance to meet Gwen, and I guess I was acceptable in her sight. And she's been like a mother ever since. But the thing and the memories that I have of Gwen always centered around eating. Dr. Bookhart called me in one night and said, "Look, Rudy," said, "you got to stop feeding Gwen." After every Labor Day celebration, Gwen went to the hospital because she was eating 2 and 3 slabs of barbecue. So I was determined not to let her eat any of my ribs. I put garlic and all type of spices on them because I knew she couldn't eat them. So I was guarding the barbecue ribs. Lo and behold, she ate a full pan of macaroni and cheese. So I didn't achieve that much. But Gwen is the type of person, she and Rev, they always call you at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And as a rule, we don't get up at our household till around 7 thereafter. So I thought I would get even with her. I was going to call her at about 12 or 1 o'clock at night. But it was to my surprise, she was on the telephone gossiping. She could never get through. So what we try to do at my household now is that if I'm serving someone something, Freddie is watching her so she won't eat herself to death. She's there whenever we need her, continuously Rudy the same. It's just a wonderful family. Dorothy, Clara, the boys. We have a real bond, and since I'm an outsider, you know, I don't feel that way. I feel it's like I'm one of the family because we've been very close. If I have problems, I don't have to tell her I have problems. She can sense it, and she's there to try and remedy those problems. So I really appreciate the association. She's really like a mother to me. If she senses, if there's a rumor that I'm doing something, I can recall once. My buddy, Fonza, we were at the Post, the AMVET, and we were having a meeting, just sitting around talking, and there was a young lady, I think she weighed about 300 or 400 pounds. She was somewhat interested in our conversation, and she took it a little far. So it got back to Gwen that I had bought a glass of iced tea for a lady about 300 pounds. And when Gwen asked me about that, she said, Rudy, I know it's not so, because you would not dare buy a woman 300 pounds a glass of iced tea. And she's been that kind of a person all the way. But any rumors, she's going to bring it back and make sure that I'm on the up and up, and I really love her for that. And the problem I have now is that she has all this free time on her hands. She's already selected the job and title for herself. So here's our new Executive Vice President of Freddie'S Beauty Aid.
I want to say that each of you have had fun this evening, haven't we? Yes. Give yourselves a big hand. And at this time, we would like to just say to Gwen, we're going to say thank you and do a presentation to her. So we're asking Freddie if he will come down and make the presentation. Freddie, these are the people at the inception of this idea, Mr. and Mrs. Rudy Randolph Maxwell. Right, give them a big hand.
When we were planning for this, Gwen kept calling every day. I could not work. As soon as she got home from school, she'll call. She wanted to know, what's the surprise? I don't want any surprises. This is what she said. What are you going to do? Who's going to speak? Who's going to say what? I don't want any surprises. We didn't have any surprises for you, Gwen. Only one. We just had to have one surprise for you. And I just heard a few minutes ago that we have two surprises. People will call me and ask me, what should I give Gwen for her retirement? And Gwen is a person that's very hard to buy for. She, at one time, all I would buy was Estelade. And now she's changed over her cologne. And I just couldn't think of anything. So I told them that we were going to put together a money tree. And different ones of you have signed the bills, and we put it on, pinned it on the tree for her. And also Rudy and I are giving Gwen a trip, a cruise. I'm hoping that I can go with her. Because I know she don't want to go by herself.
She's going to find Rudy and Daddy.
Here's your tree. I would also like to thank all of you for coming out today, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. It made me feel so good when you called me and said that you would be here. And I'm sure Gwen had tears in her eyes when she walked in here today and saw the lovely faces. Thank you again.
Well, it's my time.
How old are you now?
I think you heard the man say I was looking for a daddy for my son.
when your children show. And I'm just so happy that you came down. And all my friends, Glenn called me and told me he would be here, and he was bringing a date. And I was looking for a chubby little lady that he brought down once before. And when I opened the door and there stood his mother, I was just speechless. I just couldn't say a word. He really sprung it on me. And I'm just so thrilled to have all of my family. But all my family, please stand wherever you are. All my family. Don't have many, but I'm so proud of the few I have. I would first like to thank Mary Biante for all of the good things that she has done for me. I really couldn't have made it because I went to school in January. And, you know, when you go half a year like that, you don't know what you're going to run into. But, I mean, she had it all so cut and dried. And it's because of such a wonderful principle we have that it was cut and dried. Because he told her that he wanted her to make my life as easy as she possibly could. And that's just what she did. I taught the children for half a day, and the other half a day she took over. Because I would be pooped out by that time. I couldn't do anything. And I just want to thank you and your husband for being here tonight. Just because I told everybody that they said, oh, school was out Friday, huh? When are you retired? I said, Friday. So I'll be out there tomorrow, but don't expect me too early. Don't break your rule. And I just would like to thank Freddie. Freddie. We called him Pop and I. We had to get them differentiated. I'd be talking about one Freddie, he'd be talking about another Freddie. And we couldn't get them, keep them apart. So then we decided we would call them He Freddie and She Freddie. And most of my friends just picked up on it. And when I'm talking about He Freddie, I say He Freddie. And they say He Freddie. And He Freddie and She Freddie. And I'm just happy to have him in my life. He's a young man that I just like he said, I don't know, we just ran into each other and it just clicked. And really, I love him dearly. He's always there when I need him. And you know, when my father's 83 and I'm 39. So things that I can't do either. And I have to call him and tell him, well, Doctor, I cannot do this. Would you kindly come and do it? And I don't even have to argue about it. He's right there. And I'm just grateful. And I'm just so thankful to see so many people out there, especially my friends over the years. And my godmother there, I call her and I lean on her. Miss Cotton, would you please stand so they can see my godmother? And I just thank her for being here. Thank all my friends and just everybody. I'm just so grateful. Sorry I helped you up, but I was running all around. I had a catastrophe with this dress. And I said, after going to all this trouble to pay all that money that I will be paying through the year, I'm going to wear this. And I got blue ink all down the front. You couldn't see it because I kind of gathered up a little bit. But I got this pen was on my bed. And the pen ran all over the bed and the dress. And just got on my dress. And my friend Pauline, she come running over with the hairspray. And she shot the hairspray on it, but it said dry clean only. And there we were with the hairspray and couldn't get that out. And so Freddie had her stuff waiting. And we had already shot it up with the hairspray. Couldn't get it out. But I was determined to wear my dress. Now, very few know it's there, but it's down in the front. If you look hard enough, you'll see that I got 3 big chunks of ink down there that I'm going to have to worry about. But that's why I had you helped up. But then I thought to myself, I said, you know what? This time chance won't ever come again. Never. You know, I mean, for a full-time job. Now, you may have a second retirement on a part-time, but it's two things that you only do once in your life. That's retire from your full-time job and die. And I was retired from my full-time job, so I said, I'm sure they won't mind me being a few minutes late, especially when they know I was fully ready. But I was just trying to get this off my chest. And I just like to say something to Bowie. That's nothing I can have. You know, one time I had Women's Day, and the only man on the Women's Day was Jay Bowie. I gotta have Bowie doing anything I do with me. And I had him up in his white suit, honey, and he just carried it on. And yes, sir, he's the only standing there to raise that money. That's Dairy Cream. On the count of her foot. But Cousin Edward told someone, say, honey, they asked her, say, well, how is Gwen doing? I heard she was real sick. Yeah, she was, but she's doing fine. Just now when I walked out the door, she was sick yesterday like a dog. And today when I walked out, she was doing something. And cooked dinner, and we ate dinner, and here I am, and she's doing fine. And really, God has been good to me. I told them this morning that there were times when pulled out the book, I thought that was it. But between him and the good Lord gave him the know-how, and he used it. And here I am. I had 2 congestive heart failures, and I just thought I don't. And here I am. And I know he had me here for something. And you know, I just looked at Gerald. Hi, Gerald. Gerald and I worked together for all those years, and then he went to the middle school. And boy, how I miss Gerald. Because you see, you know, sometimes you got to have somebody that you can tell everything. And in school, I could go tell Gerald everything about everybody. Not anymore, Gerald. Not anymore. Yes, sir. And I'm just so thankful that everybody's here. And I'm saying thank you to everybody because I'm grateful. I'm just grateful for everybody. I can't call you by name. I can't say of incidents in our lives together, but you know there have been some. And I'm just tickled pink about so many of them. And I just wanted to say to Dolores, I'm glad you're here. And just so many things, but I like to say about Freddie and Rudy. You know, it's a lot of people, and Dolores can bear witness, and so can Diane, don't know that I'm not her mother. When she goes out on shows, and if I go with her, this is my mother. As she said by Rudolph, this is my brother. And that's the way that she has treated me all the time. I mean, she shops for me, just like that is what I am. I mean, I don't get the cheap thing. I mean, she bought me so many Louis Vuittons, it's not even funny. And I mean the ones from Paris. I don't mean the ones from over there to the Daily Museum. Between her and my son, I really keep up with the stylish things. So today, all those buttons you saw that girl with that dress, well, just wait till you see Gwen the next time. He goes between New York and Paris all the time. He's quite a celebrity. Don't look like it. Now, I said that. Nobody else said that. That's mine. Don't know what I had. Don't know what I got. That's ours. Yeah, we were beginning to fight about that. But I'm not going to let it bother me. But I mean, he's between New York and Paris now. I say, well, darling, it's what you wanted all your life. He's Rudolph of Paris and New York. And I'm just thankful that he finally arrived. And when I get my next husband, I will have a ride. just like you said, a parting remark about my pastor. You know, I forgot to tell you what Reverend Williams said.
Uh-oh.
Reverend Williams, he doesn't believe that I'm sick. I am puny. Dr. Booker attest to that. And, but he doesn't believe it. He told me, he said, yeah, I know what the matter is. You got that young pastor over there. That's why you won't come back and play for me. But that young pastor done run you crazy. Well, you know, I'm looking, but I know my limitations.
On the very final remarks at this time, you know, you've been hearing the name Dr. Bookhart. Well, Dr. Bookhart is here, and I will ask him if he will come now at this time and just say something to us, and then we're going to let you go home.
I've been rather reluctant to say anything this evening because of the confidentiality of patient and doctor relations. However, I feel that I know quite a bit about Gwen because I have seen her inside and out. Good Lord has been good to both of us because there have been many times when there have been some question marks in my mind about her condition and question marks in my mind about my condition. If he didn't permit me to stay here and look at her. Most recently, however, she called me the week before last and said that she wanted to come down and pick up a few prescriptions. This call came in just as I was closing my briefcase, getting ready to walk out. And I didn't want to be held up that evening. And she said, well, I can be there before you get ready to go. I said, Gwen, I am ready to go now. And she said, well, go ahead and start out. And so I hurried up a little bit. I wanted to make her an untruth. And I got out to my car and said, I've just about made it. I'm going to leave and then call her later. Just as I put the key in the door, Gwen steamed around the corner, came to a screeching halt in the parking lot. I just want to leave a few words, what some unknown poet left. He said, and now as you seek the happiness way, may your heart know a song, and may love go with you your whole life long. I want to say that this is dedicated to Gwen.
Okay.
And on that note, we will say good night, good evening. We hope that you really have enjoyed yourself. I'm certain you have. So at this time we will dismiss ourselves and say God bless each of you. God keep you until the next retiree. So good night. We ready to go. This is
just gave away